Secret of the Mimic's ending pissed me off, and it is not for the reason that you think. Like, no, seriously, you're probably thinking like story or lore or some character or something. No, I don't care. It seems kind of consistent. I don't know the lore amazingly anymore, but I mean, it seems pretty consistent with what I know. What I know is admittedly scattershot, but still, I kind of like the story stuff. No, that's nothing to do with it, but it is kind of fun to see everybody get mad about it. When I first played Help Wanted and we saw the Mimic for the first time, I didn't know it was the Mimic. Obviously, a lot of people didn't. Even Game Theory didn't. I thought it was Afton who somehow returned, and I thought that was kind of weird and maybe a little dumb. And then when Security Breach came around, I still thought it was Afton, and I still thought it was dumb. But admittedly, I didn't read the books, and it took people a while to understand that it wasn't Afton. I didn't realize this until the Ruin DLC came out. And in the Ruin DLC, you'd kind of, you played as Cassie, right? Different character, new character entirely, talking to Gregory, right? And Gregory in that one felt weird, right? The whole time I played the game, something felt weird, something felt wrong. Gregory just wasn't acting in character. And obviously we know why, in hindsight, he was actually just the Mimic copying his voice. Why he knew to use Gregory's voice is a whole different question altogether. I don't know. But the thing that sucks is that something felt off. I knew something felt off. He just wasn't acting quite right. And yet when the Mimic came around, I got it, right? I got it. And that's fine. That's fine. I didn't really know what the Mimic was. I didn't know. I still thought it was Afton for a tiny bit, and then I realized I was wrong because of the stupid books, etc., right? But still, it was like, I feel like I could have seen that twist coming if I was just paying more attention. I mean, honestly, even if I was paying attention, I probably couldn't have gotten it, but regardless, right? Then Secret of the Mimic comes out, and, what do you think happens? The dispatch you're talking to, again, sounded weird. Sounded a little off. He never responded to you correctly, and I thought, there's no way they already have the, automated hand unit system AI to talk to you, right? Because, I can see that AI kind of, not addressing you correctly, right? Not caring about your concerns, things like that. But this one just felt weird. It sounded like a real person. It's the same voice actor, obviously. We got the same voice actor. But he just sounded weird. He sounded like you would think. And he also had a weird amount of control over the building sometimes, but also not for other things. It was weird. It was weird. Naturally, we now know what that was, and it annoys me. It was the Mimic mimicking the dispatch. They gotted me twice. They gotted me twice. I could have seen this one coming this time. I knew what the Mimic was. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. I'm gonna drill a nail into my head. Still, I actually really like the ending. It was just it was cool. I don't know. I know it probably wasn't as cool to everybody else as it was to me. And I'm pretty sure that is the canon ending. I don't know, it just makes sense for how the Mimic released. But hey, I kind of like the secret ending too. I don't know. My understanding of the lore is so I'm not sitting here to tell you what the lore is, but I know that the secret ending with the David robot, it makes sense. It makes sense to me. I read the trilogy novels. I know a person actually being a robot is not the craziest secret out there, right? At this point in Five Nights at Freddy's. But I don't know. There's just things about the situation I don't understand. Just certain things about it, right? I don't understand how David, why is David gone? Is he Tiger Rock? Is the Mimic actually a soul? I don't know, Fiona, it's all the specific events are kind of iffy to me. I can understand the logic of it, but I don't get what happened with one character to result in this outcome. The Mimic acting like David is not the biggest deal. Or at least a Mimic acting. I don't know if it's the same one. I kind of give up on that part. But then Fiona not actually being a person, did she die and he sort of did the remnant thing and now she's in the system? Did he just use her voice as a baseline to make this robot? Or did he, Edwin, of course. I'm talking about Edwin. But, what exact events happened here? Once I get some of that, it'll be kind of easy to understand how things proceeded from there. I actually thought the story stuff was kind of the best part of the game, to be honest. I Apparently, people don't like it, and it's kind of typical of me to just enjoy the parts other people don't, and vice versa. But I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. You could connect it. It's relieving. It's simply relieving to know that it's the first game in the franchise. We don't usually get something so concrete like that. It's something, right? We don't usually get something, but this time we've got something. This is the first game. This happens before any other game. Period. Not book, but any other game. This happens first. And it's like, okay, thank you. So we know now. We know for a fact. Everything else is afterwards. Coolio. Of course, the main thing I'm concerned about is Tiger Rock. I knew of Tiger Rock. I knew of it from the books. I forgot a lot of details about it because there's so many freaking game theories at this point. I don't even, just keeping up with those is almost like homework now. But like, is David Tiger Rock? That whole sequence of the game was cool. I just like that part. You could hear the child laughter during the whole sequence. I don't know. Leave comments. You know what? Leave me some comments below. Can you tell me this information? I want to know this information. I'd like to know some things that really probably should be simple. Maybe the game explained it and I kind of overlooked it. I skipped one or two of the tapes on purpose because I was kind of getting annoyed with the game. Kind of just getting through it. I did play it with the intention of reviewing it, not so much just sitting back, just kind of letting myself play it for a couple of days. Of course, it was only 5 hours long. I couldn't have, but... But yeah, let me know this lore stuff in the comments. One of my viewers tried to tell me stuff in the middle of a stream, and I was like, but it's from the books, right? It's from the books. So I'm not really sure how accurate it is to the game universe. It is. I've heard that this game kind of confirms the books aren't canon. Not directly canon, at least, right? Like, a long time ago, Scott said, like, oh, it's the same type of universe. They share the same rules, the same logic and everything, but it's not the same story. I thought, okay, that makes sense. I read the trilogy novels kind of like that, right? Because obviously, the trilogy novels didn't happen. We know that. It's pretty obvious. Talking like Silver Eyes. I always forget the second one. Silver Eyes, blank, and Fourth Closet. Twisted Ones. There we go. I got it. Fourth Eyes, Twisted Ones, and the Fourth Closet. Like, those were kind of their own self-contained story, which I like. I'll make a video on that someday. But yeah, that's how the Secret of the Mimic ending sort of pissed me off, because it got me. It got me twice. That's kind of all I wanted to say. I just started rambling about the lore. I don't pretend to know the lore. I just kind of would like to. But until the actual games tell us things, I just kind of can't take anyone's word for it. So, there we go. Have a good day or night. Subscribe for more FNAF content. Yeet. I can drive. I could drive this whole time?
Arnold, there you are.
No way.
Tried to get a hold of you all night.
That wasn't him.
Why didn't you answer? Fazbear Entertainment has no other option but to let you go.
That wasn't him.
I just talked to you.
Wow. Wow, what an ending.